The St. Louis market these days is crazy. There's a lot going on. I mean, interest rates are changing. The housing market's all over the place. Are houses still selling with multiple offers over list price? Yes and no. It really depends on the situation. So we're going to talk about that in this video, and specifically how you can try to engineer a situation where your house is positioned to sell over list price with multiple offers. Let's dive into it.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Madison.
I'm Jacob.
And we are going to talk about how to get the most money for your house today. 2 years ago to win a house, sign your life away if you want this house. But today we are seeing buyers, they are having a little bit more power. Now, this isn't saying it's a buyer's market because we're not in that scenario at all. Sellers are still getting great offers for their houses. It's just a little less risk off the seller's plate as the buyer's putting more risk on their plate by modifying these contingencies.
So everyone's favorite question to ask when it comes to real estate is, how's the market? And are things still selling over list price with buyers waiving contingencies, repairs and inspections, and paying absurd amounts over list price? In some cases, yes. But at the same time, this is not the same market that it was 2 years ago, right after COVID, where you could put anything on the market and it would sell in 2 days with multiple offers. These days, it's become a lot more about creating a situation where if your house is move-in ready and you're priced strategically compared to what else is on the market, you can sometimes create a multiple offer situation. But on the flip side, we're still seeing that there are homes these days where if someone's a little bit ambitious with price, or the house needs a new kitchen, new bathrooms, that it will sit on the market for weeks, if not months, maybe see some price drops, and then a buyer comes along, and it's a negotiation at that point down to where you want to sell it.
So in this market, buyers are picky. They want a house that's move-in ready. They don't want to do anything. They've saved that money for a down payment. They don't necessarily have that extra money to do renovations. So really buyers, they want a house that's priced well and is in good condition. When those two things are present in a listing, we are seeing multiple offers. So in a healthy market, we see 6 months of inventory. Right now in the greater St. Louis area, which has St. Louis County, St. Charles County, and some of the surrounding areas, there is less than 2 months inventory at any given time. So that shows it's still a seller's market. So with our sellers, we have to come out on the market aggressively. We have a strategic plan to get them the most money in the shortest amount of time. So when we go on a listing appointment, we see what appraisers see. We look at all the market data, what have the other homes sold for in the area, and we come up with the list price. Combined with doing a few projects to get their house ready for the market, that is the perfect storm where we see houses going into multiple offers. It's move-in ready, it's priced well, it's in a desirable area, things like that. Now, when we see houses where sellers want to push the envelope a little bit, maybe go 5-10% over market value for their home, and they're not willing to do a lot of things to get their house ready to go on the market, those are the scenarios we're not seeing a lot of multiple offers. Unfortunately, buyers then start to tell us, hey, you're this far overpriced. They start to lowball us and tell us how much overpriced we are.
And hey, real quick, if you are thinking about moving, if you know that a move is somewhere on the horizon for you, send us an email or a text. We are a group of realtors in St. Louis. We love hearing from our clients on YouTube. That is the best part of this job. Now, here's the thing. We are in a high demand market. There are lots of buyers, but we're in a high interest rate market. And that absolutely has caused some changes compared to 2 years ago. When Madison's saying that buyers are picky, that's because these days, if people are getting 7 to 8% interest rates, they're spending a lot more to buy that house in their monthly payment, and people have less money sitting around to throw at a new kitchen or new bathrooms and redoing the whole house. And that is by far one of the biggest reasons that people are being a little bit more picky with selecting the right house that is move-in ready. At that point, if you're getting a 7% interest rate, it just makes it a lot tougher to justify maybe taking out another loan if you're going to do renovations on the whole house.
Right. And with these higher interest rates, so historically they're still low, but right now in this market, this is high compared to what we've seen in the last couple of years. So the buyer pool has shrunk because affordability has come down a little bit when we see those higher interest rates.
And the thing is, as interest rates have gone up, yes, some people are no longer in the market for a house, but at the same time, we still have so much demand because people are moving to St. Louis, whether it's for a job or for family, and people moving around the St. Louis area, whether it's for a job, school districts. They're expecting a baby. There's lots of reasons why people these days are still absolutely buying, but interest rates are higher. So the pool has gotten smaller, but trust me, demand is still definitely there. It's just not what it was 2 years ago. Here's the thing. When you go on the market, you have one shot and you want to make it a home run. So you really want to come out strong when your home comes out to Zillow, Realtor.com, the MLS systems, everyone who's going to get notified. You want to make a strong first appearance. And there are a few things we really recommend doing, regardless of the situation, to make that strong first impression.
Absolutely. And the first thing is hire a professional photographer. There are so many listings online that we're seeing cell phone pictures. And in today's world, that is not acceptable. Over 80% of buyers, I think it's actually even as high as 90+% of buyers, see the house online for the first time. Hire a professional photographer. They will make your house look like it should be in a magazine. Secondly, you have to neutralize your house. People don't want to walk in your house and see your family photos and your decor. Maybe you have a rooster theme in your kitchen. They may not like that. Neutralize it. We want buyers to walk into your house and picture their decorations, their furniture, and not be distracted by what you have in a house.
So if you have highly custom wall colors, decorations, furniture taste, stuff like that, we want to shift it to a more neutral style inside. And that might look like taking things down from the walls, repainting. If you have very colorful wall colors, nothing wrong with that. But when we put it on the market, you have to look at it in a different way than what your personal taste involves.
And a lot of my clients, their houses are decorated very well. It's just a matter of what's going to appeal to the largest number of people. Neutral colors generally do that. If you have a red dining room, a lot of people may like that, but more people would like a tan, a grayish, a gray, a color like that. The other thing is if you're wondering, is my house ready to go on the market? Go and look at other listings online. The ones that you gravitate towards, most of the time, they're very bare. They don't have a lot of decorations out and they're very neutral. So I always tell my clients, go and look what's out there already. And really, once your house feels bare, that's when it's the most show ready. The other thing is buyers are really concerned and really care about the condition of a home in today's market. It's very rare we go on a listing appointment and we tell sellers, you need to update everything. Hardwood floors, quartz countertops. You're not going to make enough money on that investment for it to be worthwhile. What's most important, and is really just as simple as cleaning carpets, maybe repainting a few walls, is just having your home in good shape, having it clean, having it decluttered, sprucing up the landscaping, doing a few things that buyers understand it's not going to be updated to top of the line finishes, but if it feels clean and homey, that's what matters most to them.
So those are all really important things, but Madison, what would you say to someone who has a 60-year-old house, nothing's been changed, nothing's been updated? What does someone do in that situation when they're going on the market?
Right. And this is a very common situation we see, even from some people who've reached out from the channel. Really comes down to market data. What I give my sellers is I give them options. So I say, one, here's what your house is worth today. You walk away, you don't do anything. As a sale, here's what you get. The other thing that we look at is if you do these updates, let's say you do some updating to the kitchen or to a bathroom, repainting. If you make these updates, this is what you could get for your home. So then it's really up to them. Is it worthwhile for their time and their money to update a house, to get top dollar for it, or are they willing to walk away at a lower price? And every scenario is different. Every seller is different. It really comes down to the market data of what a home is selling for in its current condition versus getting it ready for the market and possibly doing some updates.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you are in an area where there is very clearly an advantage and the homes are selling at a premium that have the brand new kitchen and bathrooms, it might be worth your while to spend tens of thousands to do those upgrades. But if you're someone who really just wants to price it at a discount, knowing that you can walk away from it without having to go through the hassle of redoing it, and it doesn't seem worth your while, that's also a valid option.
Every scenario is just so different because I've had sellers who they don't have tens of thousands of dollars in the bank account to make repairs. And I've had clients who they want top dollar and they do the updates. They get their house ready for the market and then they make a profit on what they do. Every scenario is different and all of our sellers are different. That's what we're here for, is to get you the most money for the amount of work and the investment that you want to put into your house.
Basically, it is going to be a trade-off if your house is not in fully upgraded form. It's just difficult to expect a premium price if your house is not in that premium upgraded condition. There's nothing wrong with pricing at a discount, but it's good to be realistic and know that if you have your neighbors selling maybe 6 figures more than your asking price, but they have all those upgrades to the kitchen, the bathrooms, it's good to go, and you don't, that's where there is a difference in terms of price and if you're getting a completely different house for that price. And the thing is, we are living in the digital world of real estate. Everyone is on Zillow or Realtor.com. They're swiping left and right. They're looking at houses and deciding very quickly within the first couple pictures if they like it or not. And then price is especially important with those pictures.
And I think it's important to use all these websites to your advantage when you're ready to put your house on the market. So when we're talking with sellers, I like to pull up Zillow, Realtor.com, these other platforms. And let's say their house is going to be listed for about $500,000. We look everywhere from about $354,000 to maybe $600,000. So let's say about a $200,000 to $300,000 price range. We look at everything on the market to get an understanding for what's the competition like for that house. When that house goes on the market, I want it to be the best house out there for $500,000. If there's a house that's bigger, more updated for also $500,000, then we should talk about making that price a little more aggressive. Because if a buyer's looking for a house in that price range, probably 9 out of 10 times they're going to choose the other one if it's priced better and it's in better condition. That you have to make sure out of the options currently on the market, your house is at the very top of the list for what's available.
Honestly, the thing is that yes, everything is more competitive and things are moving digital, but you can use that to your advantage because once you go on, you can see your competition right there.
Right.
Every other house at your price point, whether it's in your neighborhood, down the street, down the block, that's your competition. And you pricing your house before you go on the market with that in mind is your advantage if you do it appropriately.
The other listings, you can see how long they've been on the market. You know when a house goes on the market in your neighborhood. It seems like everyone's hobby in today's world is real estate. They're always on Zillow, they're always on Realtor.com, which is great because they have an understanding of their market already. They know when the neighbor's house is going on the market. They know how quickly it sold. That pay attention to these things because when it's your time to move, we want to do everything right. If there's a house that has been sitting on the market for 30, 40, 50 days, we cannot be priced above where they're priced at because we know that it's overpriced. So use these websites, use all that information that's out there to your advantage.
So let's talk about contingencies because there's definitely been a shift. We're no longer seeing that everyone is waiving every contingency, financing, inspections, repairs. There's more room for negotiation these days.
It seems like that. So 2 years ago, it seemed the winning offers were completely as-is contracts, and as soon as a buyer signed, it was a done deal. They had no options to get out, even from inspections, financing, appraisal, and other contingencies like that.
Which was great for the sellers because that's great for you to get basically a risk-free offer. But then on the flip side, when it comes time to buy, that was absolutely a struggle.
And let me preface this by saying we never recommend waiving all the contingencies. It's so important for our buyers to have inspections done, to have the appraisal done. But in this market, if you want to win a house, it takes being more aggressive with these strategies to get the house. So 2 years ago, no inspections. People aren't even having them done. They're buying the house as is. So in today's market, we're seeing fewer people completely waiving inspections. Generally, they're modifying the inspection contingency. So in today's market, I see 3 strategies that happen frequently with inspections. The first is they waive repairs. You take the house as is or you leave it. So if there is a major item that's found, the buyer still has the protection to walk away. The second strategy I'm seeing is that buyers are saying, we're not going to ask for more than $5,000 worth of repairs. So then the seller can know and budget for, hey, with this offer, at most we would have $5,000 worth of repairs. The third strategy that I'm seeing is buyers are saying, we won't ask for a repair under a certain dollar amount. So if it's under $1,000, we won't ask for it. We're not going to nickel and dime the seller if there's a leaking pipe or maybe a broken window seal. But if it's a big issue over $1,000, the foundation with the HVAC, something like that, then that is fair game to negotiate. So I think it's important to work with an agent who understands your market because it shifted from 2 years ago. 2 years ago to win a house, sign your life away if you want this house. But today we are seeing buyers, they are having a little bit more power. Now, this isn't saying it's a buyer's market because we're not in that scenario at all.
And every contingency that you waive or are considering waiving is more risk to you as the buyer. To the seller, it's getting rid of risk on the buyer's part, but you always want to think carefully about that if you're reviewing offers.
Right. And that's why 2 years ago, buyers were taking on all the risk, where today we're seeing, okay, the buyers are taking on a little bit less risk and sellers are taking on a little bit more, but it is still a strong seller's market because there are more buyers out there than sellers. It's that simple.
And we're also starting to see some more flexibility in negotiating the terms. For example, if someone has a house to sell before they can buy, there are ways we can get around that involving the lender and even with the contract itself. If we're talking about doing a sale leaseback or something along those lines where if you cannot get the funding prior to selling your old house, there's ways to negotiate that. It still definitely is something that might weaken an offer if there is a home sale contingency, because that's definitely one of the biggest contingencies to have. But there are ways around that these days, where 2 years ago, if you had a home to sell, good luck. Like, you either have to get rid of that or you're not buying a house these days because there was no way to really use that in a contract and still be competitive.
So with the home sale contingencies, that comes up a lot with people who are buying their second or third home. Maybe they had kids, whatever the reason is, they want to upsize, but they need to sell that house first. In today's market, we are seeing more contingencies getting accepted, but you have to be creative in your game plan. So one of the things I tell clients in that scenario is when a house comes on the market that first weekend, let's see what happens. If it makes it more than a week or two on the market, then for some reason that house isn't selling, and that might be the perfect opportunity to come in with an offer that has the home sale contingency.
All right, Madison, here's a question for you.
Okay.
Is there one day in particular that's the best day to put your house on the market?
Yes. So according to Zillow, the best day to put your house on the market is Thursday. So we've really implemented that into our marketing plan of putting a house on the market.
So here's how we set that up. So Thursdays, you go on the market, it's active. People are looking at it Thursday night. Friday, we start showings. Saturday, Sunday, we fill it with people. That's when we have showings, because for a lot of people's work schedule, it works out. People can be out of the house on the weekends, and then buyers are coming through on weekends to look at the house. Reviewing offers either as they come in or on a Sunday or Monday, depending on the situation and if we're expecting multiple offers or not.
Most of our clients, they want showings to happen on the weekend because maybe they have kids, they have dogs, whatever the reason is, they are off work and can have everyone and everything out of the house that needs to be on the weekends. This seems to inconvenience them the least, which is our goal. We want it to be easy to sell a house. We want to take all that stress off your plate. So really this works well in this market when it's priced appropriately and they do everything we recommend. We are seeing most houses sell within the first 1 to 2 weeks on the market.
And so that's why Thursday kind of makes the most sense and why we have the most luck with that. Whereas if you put your house on the market on, let's say, a Sunday or a Monday, you're getting it on the market right as we're going into the work week. So depending on your work schedule, that might make sense, but you're going to have fewer people available to come look at it because a lot of people are going to have that Monday through Friday work schedule, and the weekend is the easiest for scheduling to come through the house.
Buyers are focused on finding a house on the weekends. A lot of listings do have open houses. So buyers, they have their list down to which open houses they want to visit. They are out house hunting on the weekend. So we want to give them time during the end of the week to know about our listing, and then they will come see it on the weekend.
And that's why we usually do it on a Thursday instead of a Friday. Thursday kind of gives people a little bit of a heads up. Hey, we're on the market. Whereas if we wait until Friday afternoon, that might not be enough time to give people time to look at it and get together their lists for the weekend. So I hope that was helpful to help you get a sense of what to expect really if you're going on the market. If this was helpful, send us an email, send us a text if you want to talk more about that listing process, whether you're going full blast on the market or you're interested in more an off-market transaction. We'd love to talk to you, especially hearing from our clients on this YouTube channel. That is our favorite thing ever.
So definitely reach out to us if you have plans to sell. It doesn't need to be in the next week or month. If you have plans of selling really within the next year, now is the best time to reach out. So if there are things that need to be done to your house, you have time to do that, and we can make a very aggressive marketing strategy instead of saying, hey, we need to move in a week. That can be stressful. So reach out to us if you're moving in a week, a month, a year, and so we can get everything ready for when that time is, here.
Yeah, that's a good point. It doesn't hurt to reach out early. That way you at least give yourself some headway to start
planning. Make a game plan.
Yeah, make a game plan. Start getting ready if you do have to paint some walls, redo a kitchen or bathrooms, and get ready for it ahead of time.
All right, thanks for watching. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.